I spent 8 years of my life, guys, not being intentional. That led me to profound unhappiness that allowed me to think I didn't have control of my life. And so we have to acknowledge that. We have to acknowledge that maybe the reason why we're not living out our dream right now is that we've made choices and decisions that have taken us on a path. That isn't to beat you guys up. That isn't to beat yourself up. I just had to acknowledge that the reason I ended up being a stay-at-home wife for 8 years, which wasn't my dream, by the way, that's why I emphasize. The reason why I did that is because I was making small choices every single day that led me on a path that was away from the thing that I actually wanted in life. So that's going to be the umbrella of how I'm going to teach you guys today. Now, we're going to start with, I want you to write down, what is your dream? This is where you got to start, guys. You have to write down what your dream is. Now, you have to, I write this as uber freaking specific, UFS. You have to be uber freaking specific on what that dream is. So for instance, if you just wrote down, my dream is to be an entrepreneur, what the hell does that mean? You're going to be spinning your wheels because you don't even know what that means. Your dream is, I want to own a YouTube channel. What does that mean? Get uber freaking specific of what that dream looks like. So it covers the what, the who, and the what. So if you say, I want to start a YouTube channel, that's the what. The who is, I want to start a YouTube channel that talks to middle-aged women. Great, that's my who. The why is because as a middle-aged woman, I feel badly about myself. And so if I can teach them, people the same age as me as I'm learning, then that's filling out my dream. Amazing. Now you have your UFSs. You know exactly what that dream looks like. You cannot leave it up in the clouds. You cannot leave it to be like, like, oh, well, it's going to be this thing, and I'm not actually sure what that looks like, and I'm going to figure it out along the way. The figuring it out along the way will take you on the wrong path. I'm telling you right now. So you have to be so specific on what that dream is. Okay, now the next thing for me, what is actually holding you back, guys, from having lived that dream in the first place? I don't see any kids here, so we can all accept, hopefully, and acknowledge that as adults, if we're still looking to figure out what or why, how to start our dream, it means there have been things in our life that has held us back. So I don't want to come on here and just be like, that's your dream. That won't serve you. Why? Because you cannot be blind to what has gotten you where you are today. You cannot be blind to it. That will only be a disservice to you. So I'm going to lay out a couple of things that puts me in a bucket that I didn't realize. And I'd love for you guys to write this down and write your answer next to it. So I want you to put, what is holding me back? Question mark. The buckets we're going to explore is your belief system. You may hold a belief right now that you don't realize you hold that is actually holding you back from your dream. So we started with, what's your dream? Now you actually have to be honest with yourself. Why are you there yet? What belief system do you currently have that tells you you shouldn't, quote unquote, be doing it? So for example, for me, my belief system was that I would end up being a stay-at-home wife and taking care of my husband. I would have children. I didn't question it, guys. I literally didn't question whether I wanted kids or not. I didn't question whether I should or shouldn't be married. I didn't question whether I should or shouldn't stay at home and take care of my husband. Now, when I can say this was a belief system of mine, I believe as a woman, this is how I used to think, so bear with me. I used to believe as a woman, I should take care of my husband and have children. Great. Now that you've written it down, put it next to your dream. Does that belief system actually align with the dream you just said you wanted? Now, this whole thing, you're always going to hear me say this, guys. You're not going to beat yourself up over it. You're going to give yourself grace that that's the belief system you currently have. But if you can see that your belief system comes into conflict with your dream, now you can see that you have a choice. You've taken the blinders off, and now you can see it for what it really is. So that was the belief system I had that was given to me as a Greek Orthodox girl through my dad who told me I'd end up being a stay-at-home wife in a way, through my grandmother, that if I ever fell on the floor and scraped my knee and was hurt, she would come running over to me and she'd be like, oh, it's okay. You're going to be okay by the time you get married, right? So her messaging to me was, the only thing that really matters is getting married. That's the only important thing that you have to worry about, Lisa. So now when I look at how the hell did I stay 8 years in a life that I really didn't want, how was my belief system? So now I have to pivot. So you have to acknowledge it, face it for what it is, don't judge yourself, but then pivot. Okay, mindset. Your mindset right now, guys, may be getting in the way of your dream. So that's going to be the next bullet point. What is the mindset you currently have over that dream? If you use words like, I can't, I don't know how, because sometimes we say things automatically. I do that all the time. Even now, guys, I've studied mindset 10 years. Even now, I find myself saying, oh, well, I can't do that. So I don't beat myself up over it. I just acknowledge it and I take inventory. So that's what I want you guys to do now with your own mindset. You're going to take inventory of how you think about that dream. Okay. Now that you've taken inventory to that sentence of my dream is this, but I can't do it because I don't know how to shoot a video. I can't do it because I don't know how. Okay, perfect. Now, you guys have heard this before, but you have to actually write it down to do this exercise for this to really hit you. Write the word yet at the end of that sentence. It's so simple. We say it all the time, but why don't we do it? Because to me, there's the difference between, just throw yet in the conversation, or write down your dream, write down what you're saying to yourself, and then actually write down yet at the end. Now read that sentence back. I don't know how to make videos yet. That is very different than I don't know how to make videos. If you're not at your dream, maybe your mindset stopped just before the yet. So you've got to call yourself on it with grace, call yourself on your mindset, and believe that you can get there if you put your mind to it. You're not there yet, but you just have to have the belief that you can. That's it. It's not blind belief. It's just belief that one day you can do it. So one day, if I spend 30 hours, 100 hours, 10,000 hours on figuring out how to shoot a video, I can do it. I'm not there yet, but I can. So I want you to very much write that yet at the end of that sentence. And every time you tell yourself you can't, write it down, throw the word yet at the end, reread that sentence.
This can be your day for personal growth. This can be that day you committed to and you remember and you go, that was the day I got myself a community. I got better coaches. I committed to making my life the absolute best that I could. This is that day. Make today your growth day. Click the button on this page and sign up right now.